Welcome to the TABC Summer League Podcast. Welcome back. Sponsored by Noah and Co. I could have done this last night, but I was looking for a partner. Pushed to today. Didn't work out. It's okay. We're gonna knock out. It was a really exciting week one. Again, this podcast is sponsored by Noah and Co. 2026 TABC Summer League is sponsored by Noah and Co. Noah and Co. Midtown NYC office space experts representing growing businesses. You know your business. Noah and Co. knows Midtown office space. Follow them on Instagram at Noah Office Space and LinkedIn at Noah and Co. It's me at Jack Terrell. We really exciting week one with a lot of stuff going on. I'm going to give you a little bit of positives and a little negatives in the week one. I think positives. I really like the stream, despite the score not always working. I think by week three, I mean that should be smooth. That's definitely positive. I think the competition, definitely a positive for week one. Like I think a lot of teams are really close, and a lot of teams that maybe I thought weren't going to be like a lot of teams were a lot closer in talent than had initially thought. I think what was really the social media is on fire right now. I think SJ is doing a great job with the clips, the plays of the week, the voting, the interviews. I think the one knock I'd have is the website. I really had no issue at all with the this Excel spreadsheet when they had the teams and the schedule and the scores. Um, so I didn't have an issue seeing the scores like that. I didn't have an issue. I think they should go back to posting the scores after the game so that when the game ends on the broadcast, we could see the scores. We want to know. I want to know immediately after. I know as a fan, as someone who watches the games every week, I want to see that. I know other people, so I might be picking nits. I think that's good. I also think stats should go up sooner. I mean, once they have it, it should go up. I think standings should go up. They should put it up. People should be able to follow it. So that's my biggest like knock. Other than that, A plus week one, and a lot of people are watching and paying attention, and I think a lot of the hype around the league has been great, especially for week one. This has been one of the more exciting week ones I have in league history, and we'll get into it. Let me just pull up the spreadsheet here. Give me a sec. Sorry about that. And we'll go into each team. There you go. Hold on. Avi Baron's about to join. Right. 1 second. Let me pull it up. Oh, and here he is. Avi Baron, right on time. I already did a little bit of an intro. I kind of shared what was working week one and what wasn't. Just in terms of league wide, I really didn't talk about games. I just really talked about like the highlights being nice, the polls, player of the week. I mentioned our gripes about the stats, the website, and the versus the Excel spreadsheet, and I gave a shout out to
Yeah.
our sponsor Noah and Co.
Oh yeah. You,
Oh
you,
yeah,
you said the line verbatim.
I have it written down, so
All right.
I don't think I got it wrong. I mean, they're the
All
place to
right.
be. They know Midtown office spaces.
Oh, and look at this beautiful spreadsheet we have open right now.
Look at that. Look how nice the
Look at all the
spreadsheet looks.
look at the colors. You
It's
can you
color.
can you can distinguish between the teams. You
Yes.
can have a tab open for all the players. Listen, I spoke to Jacob about it. I also CC'd Mikey. So I told them they understand that the website, while new and exciting, and they wanted to add all these features and which are very cool. The stats are very cool. Highlights, obviously, everything. Um, AI generated, like the website, meaning built it. Everything how they were able to build this and all the new
You have to
features
make
and
it
everything.
fast.
It's
I
great.
don't, you
It's
know,
great. It's great, but there has to be some tweaks to bring to bridge the gap between the old and the new because the old wasn't broke. The spreadsheet, the link tree that they had with the schedule and the stats and
it was good.
the rosters was great.
Yeah, it was great.
I love seeing
It
all the
might have,
colors. It was easy to follow. It was easy to see who's on what team. Right now, I got to click on each team to see who's on it, and I still can't really tell who's on it.
I
So
don't even mind the clicking. I just mind that it's not updated, whereas the link tree was always updated.
that
I don't even mind the clicking.
yeah,
Yes, of
obviously a
course, I
problem.
think
And
the
I think
color.
and I think the main issue is that the league is run through Sports Visio, but
Hello?
they're taking
Yeah.
way too much time, and and some of the games aren't even generated. So now, because of that, the standings aren't updated because Sports Visio is behind. That's the whole issue.
Yeah, well, maybe we need so maybe they should do both. They should keep at least the scores should be inputted on
Yeah,
the spreadsheet.
there's gonna be a
Not the
fix. I mean,
stats.
the Levies are more than capable of fixing any issues, so not
Uh,
worried about it.
Look, they fixed the sub rule. That's been
Oh,
the best
oh,
part of week one is the sub
huge
rule.
update, huge update.
Huge upgrade. I love it. For those of you who don't
Breaking
know, in the
news.
past, it used to be for a first round pick, let's call it Tawny Angle, you get to get like what, a fifth or a sixth round. Now it's got to be a second rounder and a clear, obvious, at least a step below. But it allows for a guy like Gabe Sklar to sub for Ari Mitnick, and at least you have something interesting in the week rather than like, oh, Ari Mitnick's out. Well, I guess we got to roll the dice with Mendy Srulowitz and Oshie Sullivan. Like it just didn't used to not make sense. And those guys are good.
Yeah,
They're just old. But now it makes a lot of sense to get Gabe Sklar for Ari Mitnick.
yeah,
I
totally.
let's go to our week one picks. So our first game, Nets and the Wizards. Did you watch this game?
No, but I saw some highlights. I saw Halpert knocking down three after three.
So
Um,
yeah,
I
this
got I got some insight from Mizell's a bit of how he thought the game went and how his team did. And
what was the take?
so his take was that they had a pretty off game, but the two bigs work really well, complement each other well. Mizell's felt that he had a little bit of an off game. His shooting could have been better, but he was able to set the table a bit for Tani and Moskovich. So that combo, along with forgot who else. They have a fourth on that team, but that
Well, we're
core
not there
group.
yet where we know the teams by heart.
I know. We're getting there.
Klesnik and
Klesnik,
Alter.
Klesnik hits, Klesnik hits some outside shots. Yeah, all the great guards to add to that core of Engel, Moskovich, and Mizell's. I know Klesnik well, play with him in JBA, and he can really hit from outside,
Well, I watched
and
the game.
is
I'll tell you what
yeah,
happened was exactly kind of what I was saying when I was arguing for the Nets, what they had to do to be able to beat this Wizards team. Let's just call it a spade here. The two best big men on the floor were wearing a Wizards uniform, and
right.
the Nets' tallest guy might be R.A. Halpert. I'm looking at it now. I mean, Blumenthal. I don't even know if he
Blumenthal,
played. Yeah, but I think R.A. Halbert's taller, and they have Mendel, and I think R.A. Halbert's taller. But the one thing is that they had was their ability to stretch the floor. And we said
right.
in the pregame, if the Nets want to win, they got to put the pressure on the guards, which they did. Mizell's mentioning him having an off night. That wasn't necessarily Mizell's missing shots. I give a lot of credit to Aron Heller and Halpert and Moshe Heller, sorry, and Yosef Heller for putting a lot of pressures on the guards and making it difficult. They hit a ton of threes. Yosef Heller could shoot the lights out. R.A. Halpert could shoot the lights out. Mo Heller had a great 3-point shooting night. They were splashing threes. And at the end of the day, it's very, very hard to win games when you have a team that could just get layups. easily with
Yeah.
the bigs, especially at this level. Now in the NBA, where the skill is outside of the roof, the skill is on a professional level. Shooting threes is a must. I think a lot of the times when you get to the amateur level or a level like this, people try to mirror what's going on in the NBA or even in the Division I college level. It's not necessarily the case. I think a back to the basket guy or a classic kind of get your 2 points close to the bat is super valuable at this level because at the end we are all amateurs. None of us are pros, and very few play in college. So that ability to just get layups, Moskovich angle, just offensive rebounds, putbacks, they just
Yeah, I think it was a lot of putbacks too. I saw some highlights, just a lot of it, and that's going to be a constant theme for them this season, where they're just going to be too big. They'll throw up some threes and just control the offensive rebounding and get second chance points.
um yeah. So that Avi Baron, you picked the right team, the Wizards. Good win. A little spots was the chemistry looked good. Engel and Moskovich look good together. That's a good thing for the Wizards. And Klesnik and Mizels look good together. That's a good thing. And for the Nets, like Josef Heller was a real bright spot. He splat. We know about RA. We know about Mo. Josef Heller being able to splash threes like that was really nice to see. And if I could give them one note, is that Ari Halpert does a really good job of splashing threes, but he has a great shot fake and then drives. And on his drive, he gets to the rim, but I think if he could learn to shot fake, take a dribble, and hit the midi, that would elevate his game. Um, we'll we'll move on.
It seems like I didn't update this sheet fully, so I guess we'll do it in real time.
Nuggets Blazers.
Oh man, what a game!
Game of the night. Game of the night. Mo Kelson got robbed by not getting the play of the game, in my opinion.
I voted for him. Who didn't vote for him? I mean, a game winner. It wasn't a buzzer beater, but that's a game winner. We saw that live. That
Live.
was that was a beautiful shot. I think the ball rotated somehow, found him. Seconds left, a few seconds left. This was a total collapse by the Nuggets and a team that I picked. And I told Wallfish after the game, I said, you really cost me some beer on this pick because
Yeah, that
because
was a big
I
swing.
trusted you guys. I said you have a great team. I showed up to the game because my game was right. Our game was right after, and I'm like, Jack, I got two picks tonight. I'm up 2-0. Spoke a little too early because
You
it
said
was
that to
just
me, and
a total collapse.
you
Choke
said
job.
that to me. They're up four. No, they're up five at the free throw line,
Yeah.
and it's their ball, and there's about 24 seconds left. I forget who misses it, but he misses the free throw. They calm down. Gabe Sklar takes a just an outrage I mean you not outrageous three because you need the three, but he takes a contested corner three. I mean, in stride, in motion, focus, locked in, and buries it, swishes. Then
Yeah.
they inbound the ball and they steal it immediately, the Kelsons. And that's just like veterans versus kind of guys. The guys have been doing this for a long time. And maybe, guys not coming together. I know there's a lot of vets on the other team, on the Nuggets with Klein and Heidemann and Wallfish and even Schiffman. I'd consider a vet for how much ball he plays. They turn it over and what's his name? He misses a wide open layup and it goes out of bounds and they throw it to Sklar. Sklar missed the wide open layup. Sklar drives and Wallfish, I think, helps off of Moshe Kelson, which is like, if you've been playing in this league for a long time, you would know if there's one guy you don't want to leave open, the Robert Ory, Derek Fisher type of this league is Moshe Kelson. You can't leave him open for three. And if he catches, you can hear in the background of the video, you hear someone yell in the background, there it is. There it is. And that was me because he caught it. I said, that's going in.
You hear someone yell.
You hear someone yell, there it is. And that was, I
Absolutely.
yelled, there it is. And he banged it out, hit the three. They come down with some seconds left. A lot of good things for the Nuggets. Let's just say that to almost beat the Trailblazers in the first week, um, where the Weinbergers always do really well week one with the consistency. Sklar looking as good as he did. Heidemann looked amazing. He looked like he was
Yeah.
back, like he didn't
You
miss a
know who
step.
else looked really good?
Let's
Josh
hear
Klein. Josh
Josh
Klein
Klein.
looked really nice. I saw a couple highlights on we were downplaying sports physio, but at least it worked for this game. He had really nice finishes, so he can get to the bucket as well as stroke three. Um, so he's a three level scorer, and it's a great piece for them, and he played really well.
Josh Klein has been on some really good deep playoff run teams for a while now, and so I think this is a time where he could step up and kind of take a more of a scoring role than he has in the past. He was good. Wallfish looked good. Schiffman did well. He did well. He
Yeah.
looked good. They look good. And
I
Markovich looked
was,
really
I
good.
was, but the guy I was most surprised to see, maybe not surprised, but because I'd never seen him play, was Sklar. Sklar looked great, and
Sklar,
he's a big body, so he
he's
can
a
he's gonna finish over a lot of people in this league. So that's
he's
a
not only
great piece for them to have because I didn't know if they had a size issue with the Kelsons. I mean, Kelsons are great, but a little small. And then the Weinbergers. So you weren't sure if they had another piece to help with Alex because in years past, Alex was their stud. They usually have the stud in the Weinbergers. This
yeah,
year, this year they got Alex Kelson, Moshe Kelson, and Sklar. So now they
and
have
Sklar.
depth. Now they have depth on top of the chemistry. So this is a team that I was a little shocked to see beat the Nuggets because I had them ranked a little lower preseason, but I would bump them up.
You bump him up after
I
seeing
would,
Gabe
I would,
Sklar in
I would,
person.
I would, yeah, I would bump them up for sure, a few spots.
I think I have to agree with you. I think you asked me if this was it, can they do it? And I said like Gabe Sklar has to be really good, and he's really good. So we have to see. But A plus on that pick. He's bigger than Arish Skylar, so that was a good pick for them. And he's very talented. He's like and he was the man down the stretch. But on to the next week for the Blazers. We'll get to them, and we'll get to this one, which was a very shocking game. If you want to break this one down, Suns versus the T Wolves.
This was very interesting because I had a, I didn't have a feeling, but I was hoping that the Benheims would just have a ridiculously um, great defensive team. I mean, to pair with both Sam and Charlie, and I guess they do because they stopped an offensive machine in Studwards and held them to 1 point on 0 of 15 shooting. Now, I think a lot
Oh,
of it
15.
was zero. Yeah, nothing. No buckets out of 15, um, which is probably the most shocking stat of the week. Might be the shocking stat of the season to see a guy who averaged, I think, 28 points last season. And
28,
was he
yeah.
was he MVP? I don't know. I mean,
He was
he
MVP
looked
last year.
he looked good. It didn't look like any mechanics were wrong. I think shots were just not falling for some reason. I don't know
Well,
why.
I mean, the reason could be that the length that the Benheims gave him, right? I think they gave him a lot of lengths, and the Drazen brothers like gave him that hockey toughness. Um, like the Suns really rely on Sunward, and despite all that, going 0 for 15, I think the disappointing thing if you're the Timberwolves, I mean, no week's disappointing because they're a family and they all love each other. But the real disappointing thing is that they held the MVP to 0 for 15 shooting in 1 point, and they lost by one. Right, and a team that Gartenberg we know is recovering from
Right.
injury, and they don't have Yehuda Bookbinder, who is the big scorer. They have Benjamin, who's very good, and Yochanan's very good, but Yehuda was the big scorer of the bunch. So they really did everything they needed to do, and fell a little bit short.
Yeah, I think the Suns are going to be okay. I think Sudworth is going to shake off this rust and they'll be fine. Ori Schwartz, I saw had 4 steals. I didn't rewatch that, so I'm not sure how accurate, but that's good to see. I think the bookbinders are going to be fine. They have some outside shooting, even on the bench with Siegel, and um, and I think Gardenberg's gonna be fine this season. I think he's gonna
He's
be
a big
just fine. He
piece.
played. He played. No, he played with us. You missed the game, but he played right after he got injured, or a couple days after, and he looked good. He
Oh,
scored, I
he's
think,
back.
10. He scored 10 to 12 points, and it was a tough game. It was the one I told you about where me and Bergstein had to step up, and we lost by 10 still. But Gardner looked good. He looked quick. He looked like he was strong. He trusted his foot. He was fine. He was totally fine.
I got to give you credit on this one because you said you picked the Timberwolves to win, and you said that the Timberwolves are going to muck it up and give them length and make it nasty, and that's exactly what they did. But they did fall short.
Yeah, 1 point short,
Let's go to the next
unfortunately.
thing where you picked the Knicks, the next game over the Celtics, and I don't, I'm not sure where you went with this because you on our pre-draft rankings you were very high on the Celtics because of their ability to defend and give length and do all these different things defensively. For people who need a reminder, that's the Chesners, Rafi Mitnick, Joe Klein. They have all these
Yeah.
defenders, and
Yeah,
and there's a team that's small.
this was a purely emotional pick. This was a purely emotional pick. I was in the middle of a finals run with my Knicks, and I was hoping that it would translate to the TABC League. And unfortunately, it was more whoever was sponsoring this team than the actual Knicks. So that one was like just too emotional and shouldn't have done that. It was a mistake.
Um, yeah, I mean the Celtics, they'll be good. I think this was one of the biggest wins of the game. I didn't watch this game, so I have not much to say about it, and I'm not gonna focus too much on a game I didn't watch. Um, Jazz Mavericks. Oh, really? So Jack Reinhart was missing, and
Yeah.
the scoreboard was wonky. But there's something about the Mavericks. I felt like there was seven Johnny Levines on the floor. I feel like every person on this team was like a handsome 23-year-old blonde, like Englewood kid. It was like Johnny, Schmoozy, Jack Levine, Adam Levine, Sulamanov. They all look the same. They have all of these switchable, fast, athletic, like long wings that are explosive and dynamic. They had the play of the week with the putback dunk, which was really nice. But I actually think the nicest dunk of all time was the Effie Freundlich one um, last season that happened to be on you. I didn't mean to bring it up, but that was to swing the game.
Yeah, that was brutal.
That was a good
All
one, but
day.
that was a putback's always nice. But I think like this team could be, every year there's a team that comes out of nowhere and just kind of like takes the league by storm. Last year it was the Suns. The year before there was nobody. We came back, but the year before that there was this team with Spencer Rubenstein and Leo Rubin and Friedman and all these guys. This might be that team this year. Like they're really young and talented and electric even.
Listen, yeah, I mean, a real point of emphasis in this league is that you need some young legs. It's a quick
Yeah.
game. It's a 40-minute game. You need to be able to run, put some pressure on the defense to get back and get some easy buckets. They're going to do that a lot. They're also going to hit a lot of threes. And those two things combined is what wins in this league. So I think they're going to do great. I'm curious who they got for who the Jazz got for Jack Reinhardt, if they had got a quality sub or not.
They got
Um,
every step there.
they got Stepner. Okay, not the same as Jack, but not horrible.
No,
Um,
it's good.
yeah. So no, yeah, not like a sub where it was an automatic loss. So what was it? They won by 10 about?
Yeah, I think they could have used Jack Reinhardt defensively against a team like this with all the length that the
Yeah,
Mavericks have.
yeah. I would love to see a rematch with Jack um on Johnny and run it back.
And Matty on Schmoozy. I mean, that would have been
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
That would have been interesting. But
I mean,
I
I
think
mean, I looked
Sulaimanoff.
at I don't know how accurate these stats are, but I looked at Schmoozy's line, and he had that putback dunk, but I think he shot like 30%. So the defense was solid. Um,
What did Johnny
uh,
do?
I think he had like close to 50. So they need someone to stop Johnny.
Yeah, Johnny was. I watched this game, and just watching him just brought me so much joy. It just brought me the joy of being on his team last season, and just when he gets hot, it's just such a fun thing to be a part of. It reminds me a lot of like the old Warriors, like when Clay would get hot and you'd be like, yo, turn to channel 7 or put on TNT right now. Clay's hot or Steph's. I don't even want to say Steph because like that's like
Yeah,
we'll
yeah.
go
I
in
mean,
there. Let's say
Johnny
Clay.
Johnny is a little different because I mean, yeah, obviously Clay's Clay. Um, Johnny can run an offense and do it all himself. He's not going to take like 5 dribbles and be efficient
No,
like
no,
that.
no. He
He's
doesn't
gonna
play
break
like
down.
Kai.
Yeah, he's gonna break down the defender, and you're gonna need to send two a lot because there's not many one-on-one guards who can take him with his length and his shooting ability and his ability to get to the hoop. So he's gonna be tough. He's gonna be
It's
really
just
tough
so
to guard one-on-one.
smooth. It's so
Yeah,
smooth.
and
It's really fun to watch.
the defense are gonna have to know where he is at all times, and it's gonna open up the game for Schmoozy and the other Levines. So and Silmanov, I haven't seen his game, but you said he was solid. So.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Puts it on the
yeah,
deck.
they're gonna be a really good team.
They're tough. No knock to the Jazz. I think they'll be all right once they get Jack back. They're missing their leader. I think one of the highest IQs in the game. He would have come up with a scheme. Moving on to the Kings
It
and the
would have been it
Grizzlies.
would have been it would have been anyone's game with Jack, I think.
I agree. I think
Yeah.
he adds a defensive dynamic that they needed, especially for he's a four-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's missing.
His
This
his
next team,
arm
I'm not.
his arms are just too long. It just gets in the way. Super
Yeah,
annoying to
super swipey and good timing.
Yeah. All
Jazz,
right. Anyway,
Kings Grizzlies. I'm not going to put too much on this because JJ Zakheim missed the game, and Michael Herman didn't show up till 13 minutes in, and Ariel Friedman injured his leg pretty
but
bad. It looked
but hold on, Jack, hold on. But I hate to cut you off here, but I was watching some of this game, and I think you still need to give a big shout out to the Grizzlies.
no.
Where you,
Let me finish. Let me
Go ahead.
finish.
Go ahead.
I'm not going to knock the Kings as much as you think I would, because I picked the Grizzlies. Because Mike Herman showed up with 13 minutes to go in the first half. Zakheim missed the game, and Freeman got hurt in the first half, in the first quarter. Having said that, this guy Daniel Israel, this Grizzlies team with Malka and Ike and Daniel Israel, they look like a basketball team. They look like a well-oiled, coached,
Hold on.
competent.
You say Malka?
Daniel
Malka's not
Malka
on this team.
subbed for them. Yep, he was there. He subbed for them.
He subbed. Okay.
This guy, they just looked so good. Daniel Israel wasn't it, but the Fuhr brothers looked great. Ike Pariser looked awesome. They were also missing Yoel Schreier. So they were missing a guy that I think fits into what they were doing with the ball movement and the cutting and the offensive rebounds and playing without the ball and setting
Uh, you
screens.
you know
It
who I was
looked,
surprised by this game?
let's hear.
John Fuhrer still has it. I gotta say, the man still
He
has it.
had it
I
last
thought.
year.
Listen, last season he was on the Jazz, and I think maybe the team was too deep, or he didn't get enough touches. But because he was lost a lot of games. I lost him. But this game, he was everywhere. He was everywhere. He's hitting shots, layups. He was great.
I
And
think there
I
was
think
always
I think if he's playing like that, and his brother Jacob's pretty damn good too, and Ike is Ike. I didn't even realize that they were missing Schreier. That's how much these guys impacted the game.
they
Um,
look like the best team of week one.
The Grizzlies looked, yeah, they looked really, really good.
Do they move up in your power rankings?
Um, I don't know where I have them right now. I got to look at my power rankings and where
I would
they
move them up. I
are.
mean, I put them on pseudo contender after that week. They missing Schreier and they just dismantled the team with just
Yeah,
it
but
wasn't
without JJ,
even
it's tough to grade the power rankings and where they are within the whole construction of the league with playing a team without their best player. Hard to grade them on that. They looked really good and want to give them props, but I don't know if I would say contender level yet. I want to see them
yeah,
play
that's true, but
against.
they did
I want
look
to
the
see them play a legit. I want to see them play a legit team.
yeah, I agree with that. I think they're gonna next week they play the Spurs. I mean, if Judah Klein's not back, that's 2 weeks of a team that I think is incomplete. So I'm not going to grade that
Yeah.
either. I didn't grade us beating the Spurs without Judah Klein. I just don't think it's fair. I'm not going to. But they did look like the most basketball team. Like the chemistry was there. It was ready. They were moving the ball. Everyone knew what to do. It was really beautiful to watch. Moving on, Bucks Pistons. Bucks handled them. Pistons had Alex Kelson and Gabe Sklar as subs for Aaron Heller and Ari Minnick. Um, they had Joe Siegel on Ben Lulu. No, they had Aaron Heidemann. Sorry, Aaron Heidemann and Gabe Sklar for Aaron Heller and Ari Mitnick. That's just a drop off. I thought Aaron Heidemann looked really good in his first game. He's still coming off a big injury. Offensively, he's not Aaron Heller. He was guarding Ben Lulu. I think there's a size disadvantage. Bucks did what they needed to do. I didn't really watch the game. I didn't pay too much attention to it. Pistons.
Do you feel like, Jack, do you feel like there's an issue with a team if they can't get commits for week one when you know that this game has been on the schedule for weeks on weeks on weeks and you can plan around it and everyone's, the league is getting hyped up for week one and your main guys aren't showing up. Is that a problem to you?
I think the problem is if historically they're flake. It's two things. If they're new to the league, it could be a problem, and if they're historically flaky, it could be a problem. So like you could kind of see year by year guys that kind of missed 2, 3, 4 games. Like last year we had a big time superstar miss the playoffs. You got to worry about that. Last year, I think Judah Levine is missing 4 games every year. Like that is a problem. Mo Heller missed a few games he was doing what he needed to do. That's a problem in a sense that you need the guys. I am not going to put too much into missing week one with Ari. I don't know what to make of Ari Mitnick because I've played with him in 3 or 4 different rec seasons, and
Yeah.
two of them I won a championship, and he came every week. But one of
No,
them,
he came every week last year,
he
except
always
for
comes
one.
every week.
Except for one. No, he
He
missed
always
one game.
comes every week. But one season I played with him,
You
he
know
didn't
what?
show
He
up for one
actually
game.
he actually missed week one last year.
Yeah, so I'm
Fine.
not putting too much on it. I think they'll be okay. With these two guys specifically, Aaron Heller, who went to every game last year, and Ari Minnick, I'm not putting too much on it for these guys. But there's some guys in the league that just might miss every game. Like if you draft uh,
And the and then
Moshe Weinberger.
the follow up question is if these guys end up missing a couple games, a few games, does it carry over to the playoffs even if they show up?
Answer is no, because last year Burry's team made the finals when the team was fully together.
Right.
So he got this weird seeding, and then they get this low seed, and they go all the way to the finals. I think it just matters about clicking at the right time. Last year, the Rockets, we were all out on the Rockets. They made the Final Four. Last year, we were kind of out on the Bookbinder team. They made the Final Four. I think these teams just clicked at the right time. That's really when our Warriors team won, we clicked at the right time. That's really what's important. So, yeah, I think showing up every week is great, but if there's a week to miss, it's a week one. Cavs Heat was extremely weird because the Cavs went up by 20. I watched this whole game, and I was never been more frustrated. I was so frustrated watching the Heat because they're so talented. Um, the big man, Max Rosenblum, is such an automatic bucket in the paint, but he's so he was looked very winded. That they had to pull him in the fourth quarter as they're making the comeback. Abinian is an amazing three-point shooter. They have Gabe Geller, who didn't disappoint, was a very good player. Had a good step back, some post fades, looked like a mini Dirk. Yet they go down by 19, and they played lockdown defense on the Cavs, who missed a lot of layups with Max Rosenblum contending. He must have had 4 or 5 blocks. They cut it down to 3, and there's just like this sequence of 4 or 5 minutes where they couldn't get a bucket. They throw it to Max Rosenblum, drop step layup. The next play, drop step. The guy flops. Max smokes the layup. He misses it, a really bad miss. But then he never gets the ball again. And like I said, while I like threes in the NBA, like if you have a guy who could post up, like feed him. They didn't feed him the whole. And I texted Avery after. I said that was, you needed to get a basket. On the flip side, the Cavs looked in the first. So the Heat in the first half, all ISO ball, no passes, all this talent, and everybody not playing with each other. Where the Cavs is like Molka, Katz, Pacey, Bernstein, Srulowitz. They're all like moving the ball, passing, cutting. They go up by 20, and then they came back. Cats put it away. I don't know if you saw this game. Did you watch this one?
I didn't see this game.
I
But
I
I
I
need the scores. I need the scores on the stream. I think it would help.
they lost by 7. The score was up and down, but I texted you when they went down by 20. I said, I'm out on Max. I'm out on Geller. I'm out on Stepner. I'm out on Abinion. Selfin is involved. I was just dogging
Yeah,
all in our private
yeah,
chat, and then they crawled back because it's like when you care. These were my preseason favorites, so to have them like come out like that, I felt personally betrayed. And then to see them come back, I'm like, okay, this team is what I thought they were, but they need to come out with like that consistently. Where the Cavs were really good. I mean, Pacey, Bernstein, they did their thing. Katz and Malka, they're gonna be good.
yeah, yeah.
So,
I finally got a right pick there, so that was
so
nice
I
to see.
to look at the after week one, looks like I won the case of beer, but that gets us
Yeah,
to week two where you get to pick. I'm gonna let you pick them again, or should we go back and forth now?
I think you should. Let's go back and forth, and you can start
I'll
because
pick first. This one is
yeah,
easy. I've already made enemies with the Timberwolves by saying least co was close to their name because they're the least. I've already made the enemies. Apparently, they were throwing strays in the interview, which hasn't come out yet, which is another thing that I'm knocking the league for. Release the interviews the week of. I don't need to see last week's interview today. Release it after the game. That's all I got to say. Mavericks. I think if there is a team to guard the Mavericks, it's this team because they get the Benheims to throw at all those athletes. But I just don't, even if they shut down Johnny and they shut down Schmoozy, you got the other Levines, you got Solomonov. There's just too much offense on the Mavs. I don't think the Timberwolves will be able to generate enough offense to beat this youthful Mavericks team. This is a guaranteed lock it. Mavericks are beating the Timberwolves on the 22nd, yeah, which is tonight. You can make that a lock, guaranteed.
yeah, that's tough to argue against. I mean, I liked picking the Timberwolves week one because Suns they had one guy with firepower that they had to stop, which they did. Now they got to stop two flame throwers, so it's gonna be tough. But the Benheims they had my back week one. I think they're gonna play for each other. They're gonna play hard every week. Every week's gonna be a grind. They're gonna make these games horrible for their opponents. It's not gonna be fun. I'm hoping that they pick them up full court and they play a little um play a little rough like how Knicks roughed up Wemby a bit. Rough up, not injure, but make Johnny Levine feel you. He's a little small. Make him feel you a bit. Maybe he won't take that step back three. Make him feel you. Maybe Schmoozy won't go for that put back layup. Maybe he's going to get boxed out because they're going to put a body on everyone. They're big. The Bendheims are big. The Drazens are hockey players. Jay Shapp is a big body. They can make themselves be felt, and I think that gives them a shot to win any game if they play that way. I mean, they had a shot week one, they blew it. I think they'll have a shot again, and all they got to do is score one more point. That's all they
All
got to
right,
do.
I like it. Week two, Blazers Suns, game two. Who are you picking?
1 second.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Give me. Do you hear me still?
Yeah, yeah.
Give
I'll
me
make
one
sure.
second. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Okay. Um, Blazers versus Suns. Okay, yeah, give me the Blazers. I'm really loving what they did week one. They moved up a bunch of spots. Suns probably took a step back for me. Um, Still, I don't believe in their outside shooting so much. Even if Sudwards has a better game, I still like how the Blazers played. They didn't give up, so I know that in crunch time if they need to be clutch, they can be. They got Kelson, they got Sklar, they got the Weinbergers. They have good guard. They have a good guard stopper in Alex Kelson, and I think they have a complete team. Whereas the Suns, they're missing a little bit of outside shooting, and that can maybe hurt them this game. So I'm going to go with the
I,
Blazers.
so I'm now going to skip Bayless. I like that you picked the Blazers. I think the Suns are taking it. I'll tell you why. Ellie Sudworth he is still, in my opinion, the best player in the league, even though maybe Johnny Levine has usurped him. Ellie Sudworth is not having another game at 0 for 15, and I think the us putting him on blast, letting him know that we know he went 0 for 15 and missed all those shots, it's not going to happen 2 weeks in a row. And there's a huge difference between being guarded by Sam Benheim and Charlie Benheim and then the hockey guys and getting beat up with length and size all night to being guarded by smaller dudes, guys that are smaller than you. Moshe Kelson, Alex Kelson are smaller than Ellie Sudworth. I don't want to challenge those guys. I know they're great. But I think Sudworth is going to have a good game. Additionally, Benjamin Bookbinder, Gartenberg, Yochanan Bookbinder, they have the requisite length and size to kind of take away those easy drives that Sklar was getting to the basket against a team with outsize last week. So that's going to force Sklar to take more jump shots. I think more jump shots from the Trailblazers that are contested, that falls into the Suns' favor. Get out in transition, get Sudworth getting downhill. I just don't see Ellie Sudworth having another game like last week. I think he bounces back this week. I think he has 25 to 35 points, and I think the Suns take over. I think they win the game. Cavs Wizards. That's a good
Let's
one.
move
My
on.
pick.
It's a tough
This
one.
one's really tough. This one's really tough. I do, however, I'm going to pick the Wizards because I think that the Cavs have a size issue. And I think it worries me that as good as I think their offense is and how talented I think their guards and their wings are with Mulka and Katz and Jacoby and Bernstein, they didn't prove to me. Well, one of the reasons that the Heat were able to get back in the game is that they just got offensive rebounds and shots in the paint. I mean, granted, they were all fadeaways by Geller, but he still got to his spots. And Rosenblum could get to his spots with the post-ups. They weren't feeding him. Next week, they're going to feed Moskovich. They're going to feed Engel. They're going to tip the ball around. And at the same time, the Wizards have the requisite guards that can keep up. Now, I can't really go against the Cavs with the veteran leadership of Malka and Katz, with Bernstein, who I know is a winner. Pacey, I know, is an absolute A1 stud. They have those guys, and I give them that. But I think next week, it's not just one center that's, I think, going to give this team problems. Angle, they also have to deal with Moskovich. They also have to deal with Mysells and Klesnik and Ethan Alter. So I think the Wizards showed a lot of grit last week in a Nets team that got really hot early, took a lead, and just they kept going and getting their buckets. I think the Wizards are going to just get better. And I think the Cavs will too, but I think the Wizards are figuring out what their identity is, and their ceiling is not. I don't know what it looks like right now. Or is the Cavs, I think with the guys they have, they know what they are, and they know what they're going to be, and they know what they're going for, which is a very good team, and it's a championship contender. But I think the Wizards are going to have more of a game plan of what the Cavs want to do than the Cavs will have a game plan of what the Wizards want to do. So if I'm the Wizards, I'm attacking my missed messages on the inside, trying to get fouls. What are you going to do if Bernstein gets 2 fouls? What are you going to do if Pacey gets switched on to Angle? Like, it's tough.
I mean, for one, I think the Cavs are not going to play man the whole game. And if they do, I think it's got to be some pressure man. It's got to be some pickup at half court man, because if you let them get in their half court game, or if they just are able to put up a three and get those offensive rebounds like they did game one, then it's going to be a long night for the Cavs. But you know what? I think that I think Katz is just too smart for that. He's played organized basketball too many years, and he's been a winner too many times. So I think the Cavs are going to build off of their week one win against a bigger and on paper more talented team. And I think they're going to continue to do the same thing against the Wizards. The Wizards had problems with their perimeter defense against the Nets. You saw Heller, you saw Halpert, you saw both Hellers hitting three after three after three. I think they shot 55+% if the app is correct. And the Cavs, what do they have? They have guard play. They have shooting. They have the ability to push the pace. They can beat Moskovich and Engel down the floor. So that to win this game, they're going to hit outside shots, because the Wizards, as much as I like Mizels and as much as I like Klesnik as basketball players, they are not amazing defenders. They're small. They're both about 5'8". So hopefully they, hear this and step up and prove me wrong. But if I see them switch on me, I'm not afraid to shoot the outside shot because I know I can get them over them. I think that Pacey Jacoby's going to think the same thing. I think Katz is going to think the same thing. And I think Malka is going to put them in situations where they're able to succeed against the Wizards. And I think the Cavs roll.
Yeah, I think you're right in the sense that I don't think they have a wing that could physically guard David Katz, but I'm relying on David Katz drive. If they could just take away the three and make him drive, he now has to make his flip layup on the best shot blocker in the league in Angle and Moskovich. So that I like, you can't go wrong either one. I think that's my game of the week for next week.
That's going to be a good one. That's going to
Yeah,
be, yeah.
Jazz Nuggets. It's your pick.
Jazz Nuggets. Is Jack going to play?
Let's assume that he is.
If he doesn't play, I don't want to do the ifs because the ifs can go anyways. But I'm hoping and praying that he doesn't miss 2 games in a row as a team captain. Was he captain or was it Maddie?
Maddie.
Maddie? Whatever. The brother of the team captain. I'm praying that he doesn't miss another game, and I'm going the Jazz. I think they're gonna
No,
come
Jack's the
back
captain.
from Jack's captain. So even worse.
Yeah.
So he better show up. So I think they're going to come back after that week 1 loss. The Mavs, they got dunked on. They're in a highlight reel, the play of the week. That's going to hit them hard. They're not going to be happy with that. They're not going to want to go 0-2. The Reinhardts are very competitive players, stemming from their childhood probably, and the trauma in what Hank has pushed them to be. Maddie has told me a lot about it. I have some history with Hank myself, with umping against Jack and Hank yelling at me. Great guy, but he's insane.
He's a competitor.
For sure. And that lit the fire in the boys, in Jack and Maddie, to have that same passion and competitiveness. And I think they're not going to want to embarrass themselves with an 0-2 start. I think obviously the Nuggets have they're in that same situation where they started 0-1 and they had that late game meltdown, but I trust the Reinhardts and the talent of Skylar, and the rest of the Jazz team to take care of business here. I think that they have the defense to hold the Nuggets, to hold their best players in Schiffman and Klein, and they have a lot of offensive weapons. But I think the Jazz match up really nicely, and they have Jack who can close out a game. And I don't know if I trust the Nuggets now to close out a game.
That's true. So that's true. So come from my Skip Bayless take. I think the Jazz is a good pick, but I am going to say that if you had to pick between two teams that had a more traumatic week 1, the Jazz have an excuse that Jack Reinhardt didn't play. The Nuggets are going to come out not wanting to go into. They super surprised me last week with an almost guaranteed win against a team that never loses in week 1. Josh Klein is shooting. Heidemann was banging threes. Wallfish was banging threes. Markovich looked great. Isaac Schiffman. So I think Isaac Schiffman had the worst matchup defensively last week that he's going to face when he faced against his uncles. And that was the reason that I picked the Trailblazers last week, that Alex Kelson has the familial connection. And when you play your sibling, they know how to guard you. I should have been called up to the Skyline by one of those Skyline teams to guard Ryan. Should have been Hamer, Ryan's best friend, because nobody guards you like your family. Without Isaac Schiffman there, and I know Jack and Maddie are 2 of the best defenders in the whole league, I think without Alex Kelson there, I think Isaac Schiffman's going to have a hell of a game. He has tremendous amount of space. Markovich could shoot. Wallfish could shoot. Heidemann hit 4 or 5 threes, so he could shoot now. Josh Klein, we know, could shoot. So now you got Isaac getting downhill. You got all these shooters. You got defenders. You got Markovich. They're going to want to speed it up. They're going to want to play fast. Jack's going to want to slow it down, get a post up, get some ball movement, get a back door, get the Sean Livingston stuff, get the Iguodala stuff with Maddie, get Skylar getting downhill. I think the Nuggets want to make this a track meet. Up, down, threes. And then I think that is the kind of game that might happen. They have guys, Schiffman and Heidemann could pick up full court. Skylar is a good secondary ball handler, so is Jack. But I'm here to defend the Nuggets. I think they take last week's blow, which was tough, and they come back more eager to play. and ready to go. I think they're going to shoot a ton of threes, and I think they're going to win the game. Bucks, Raptors. It's my pick. The Raptors are playing right now, so I'm missing some really good intel. I think the Bucks are going to win. I think that the Raptors have a really good big three and a fourth crown in Josh Hilowitz, though it's questionable. Will he come to all the games? We'll see. We'll see that tonight. That we got to see if he comes to all the games, because if not, they have really a three where I think the Bucks with Littner,
Can you pull up the roster? I forgot who's on the Raptors.
of course, Gob Bloom, Bog Grownick, Yehuda Gutman, Josh Hilowitz, Billy Krause.
Okay, got it. Okay, continue.
And here are the Bucks. Ben Lulu, Dube, Dinkovic, Lipner. Yeah, I just think the Bucks have the right stuff to kind of kill the Raptors, which is like bigs that like size and shooting. Like Marcus can guard Gutman one on one. He could do as good of a job as anybody with that kind of strength. Um, and the Dinkovic can go on Hode and Lulu's on other Hode. Whereas on the flip side, Ben Lulu's a really tough guard for anybody on that team. Lipner, I'm sorry, can guard Hode, and Ben Lulu can guard Hode. So like they match up better. I think the Bucks take week two. I think it's not a good matchup for the Raptors, I think, with all the shooting and the size that the Bucks have. They just have the guys that match up, and on the other side, I'm not sure that the Bucks can keep up with the shooting.
Yeah, I'm with you that I think they're gonna have a tough time. I do trust the Hodes to get it done. Um, what this team, what what's gonna happen with this team is that the Hodes are gonna soon realize that they don't have the defenders for them to just chill and let other people do the dirty work and them to just handle the whole offense and have fun playing ball. They're gonna have to really step up and be competitive and roll their sleeves up and get to work. And I think they're going to realize that after week one. So I'm expecting them not to have a great week one because I know that their mindset going in is, oh, we're just going to have fun. It's a family game. Like we wanted to put together this team with Gutman, with Grolnick, and they got Billy Krause for some height. So they wanted all the height they can get because they didn't want to roll their sleeves up. They don't want to box out. They want to just, play their game, get some shots up, have a good time. But you know what? They're going to find out soon that after week one, it's not going to work. And I trust that the Hodes are going to get to the lab. They're going to tweak. They work together every single day. This will be on the bulletin board meeting tomorrow morning. Let me tell you, 9 a.m. when they get to the office at Revel Wealth Management Group. And shout out to them if you need a financial advisor. That will be the number one topic of the day. How are we going to improve our team because we just did not show up week one? And I think even if they win tonight, they're playing a pretty bad team, or on paper, I picked the Raptors, I believe. So, so I think they're gonna have to bounce back week two, and the Hodes with the pick and roll with Gutman. I think Jordan's really gonna break down most teams. It's gonna be tough to stick with him with the big bodies he's got in the screens. I think they're gonna be able to coach up guys who have lower IQ. Jordan, Justin, and Gutman, three guys with the highest IQs in the league. The experience that these guys have is unmatched. So I trust that the Hodes will get it right week two. Justin, obviously, amazing scorer. Jordan will run the offense. Gutman will be able to score down low, and I think Krause can be like a 3-and-D guy. I heard that he can. He's got an outside shot and he's got size, so they'll be able to defend the paint. Lipner is going to have a tough time getting points. It's going to be all on Ben Lulu's shoulders. I think that what's his name, Dube, he's not going to be able to get to the paint. He's going to chuck up threes, and it's going to be really tough to do that over Krause, the 6'5" guy who I'm sure they're going to put on him. So this is going to be all on Ben Lulu, and I think Justin and Jordan are going to have to roll up their sleeves, and someone's going to have to take it. So,
No, I can't wait for you to be wrong.
so yeah,
Yeah, I'm really thinking
I
that.
got my boys, I got the Hodes, I got the Raptors. Let's go.
Let's go. Hawks, Knicks. Yeah, the Deeds, Bay Nash. Now you took the Knicks last week.
I took the
Oh,
Knicks last week. Is it my turn?
yeah.
Yeah, so I I took them last week, but you know what? I'm taking the Knicks again. The
Oh,
2026 Knicks,
Jesus.
the NBA champions. We had the parade. Now we're going on every TV show. The roommates show went live. Roommate podcast. Josh Hart, Jalen, Matt Hillman, the boys. So I'm
They
taking
better
them
show up for
again.
the Knicks.
I'm taking them again. I trust them. I gave Jake. Oh, you know what? Is that tonight? That's not tonight? I have a
No.
little bit of inside information, unfortunately, in this game that I know that Jake Greenberg, he's on the Knicks, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I have some inside information where he has a couple of guys who are missing, and I let him have Bergstein and Berg. So I think they're gonna win this game.
Oh, that's a good sub. Who do they get Bergstein and Berg for?
Well, they need a sub for their third rounder, so I gave them Bergstein, and then Berg is a sixth rounder. So, I
No,
let them
Bergstein has to be a sub for a second rounder.
second rounder. Sorry, whoever their second rounder is, they're missing.
Jake
Jake who?
Greenberg.
So he must be missing,
He must be missing.
and they're getting Bergstein instead of him.
Bergstein's really good.
So congrats, they get a win.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you know what? I wasn't nervous about having them play before our game because Bergstein is just he's got a motor that doesn't quit, and he plays multiple games a night, many times, and
right.
I think it just warms him up. So I'm fine giving him a warm up game, and same thing with Berg. These kids are young and they can play. I can play twice a night. At 33, they should be able to.
I agree with you. I am glad you took this team because I wanted to take the Noah and Cohawks anyway. Benemy is a big that is going to bang with Mason Wedgel all night long. And Mason is strong as an ox, but he's not going to have a fun time banging with Noah Benemy all night. Additionally, Baynash, Dietz get anchors. They got a lot of guard play that kind of matches up with this Knicks team. But I mean, they're better, right? I think that they're better. I mean, personally, I think having Baynash coming off a year where he played for YU is a huge advantage. But I think like both these teams have the same strengths and weaknesses, and the weaknesses are that they're very guard centric, and which they both are. And I think three brothers plus Baynash with Benemy, who's a real center. Mason has to play center. He's out of position. He's really a point forward. Um, I think they're out of position, and I think the Hawks are going to win. I think the Hawks might be better than we're giving them credit for. And I'm saying this now, not watching the Raptors first
Yeah,
out.
yeah. We'll see. We'll see
We'll
about that.
see, but I just like
Do we
Baynash.
have do we have any games left?
Oh, we have
Nick?
a few. We can power through them.
I just got back. Could I do quick picks right now and you can finish up?
No, I'll do quick picks right now because I want to finish up too.
Fine.
So
Quick
I want to do
picks.
this on Sunday. We're not timed.
No, I was saying that you can
Kings
finish at the
Warriors,
top.
we're not going to take. Celtics Pistons. It's my pick. I think Ari Mitnick is back. Aaron Heller is back. Give me the Pistons. Celtics have the Rafi Mitnick, and again, a really good defensive team. This will be the proof to see if this method of all these defenders works out.
Okay.
Um,
Who do you have? Pistons?
I have Pistons. So now Spurs Grizzlies. Who you got?
Against two Celtics. All right, so I got
Yeah,
Celtics. Spurs Grizzlies. Grizzlies look great. Give me Grizzlies. I think the Furors are gonna continue. Ike's gonna be great. They're gonna get Schreier back. I'm liking how this team is heading. So give me Grizzlies.
I think that the Spurs, Burry Klein doesn't lose 2 games in a row. Yona Tarzik is not going to have a bad game like that again because I don't think the Grizzlies have the same guard defenders that we have. And I think the Spurs are going to pull out. Burry Klein's going to lead them. Tarzik's going to go off, and they're going to get a win. And then Heat versus Nets is my pick. I am going with the Heat.
Oh, lucky you.
Yeah, I'm going with the Heat. I think they're going to bounce back, and they almost pulled back a game against a Cavs team that I think are better than Nets, and they have a lot more questions answered. They started to figure out it out as they started to go down the stretch. Um, and I think they're going to come out with like knowing more who they are. I think the Nets still have a problem with bigs. I think the Nets could stretch him out and
Yes,
start hitting threes, but I'm going to go
probably
Heat.
it's probably a good pick, and I'm just gonna hope that the Hellers and Halper can continue shooting at a 60% clip.
That's all you can hope for.
Yeah, that's about it.
That was it.
Right.
Brought to you by Noah and Co.
Great
Sorry that we had a
pod.
rusty
Great
end.
pod. No, that's a great pod. I
We'll
gotta
put an
go. I
hour
gotta go.
in.
I gotta go walk Chester.
All right, I'll
So,
talk to you later, brother. I'll see you on
all right, peace.
Wednesday.
Yep. See you then. Peace, bro.